fucking, they made it so that there's these things called shadows, not shadows, sorry, what are they called? Whispers, right? That are supposed to be like these weird ghostly creatures that are trying to steer literally, they're trying to steer the fucking destiny of the world into the correct direction. Correct meaning the original fucking plot of Final Fantasy VII. And then the whole game is just like them not doing those things, and then it just doesn't make any fucking sense as well. So many times it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't fucking make sense. There's things like, there's a moment where you fight Rufus Shinra on the roof thing, right? Like outside. In the original game, you beat him, he runs away in a helicopter, and then you go back inside, and then you end up finding the fucking, on the Rufus's bars, by the way. That's fire. But like, you go back in and you get on the fucking the bike, and you end up on the bike mission, right? Normal shit, right? Cool, I'll tell you when. So fucking, he's hanging off the side in this new game for some reason, because he almost gets knocked off the side. Cloud is, and he's like he's this close to dying. And in other times, there's times where like these fucking ghostly things fucking get in the way and like stop things from happening, and they save Aerith from falling from something, etc., etc. And then and you see that so many times that they intervene, right? But in this case, he's almost fucking falling off the edge, and they don't do anything. They're surrounding the entire fucking Shinra building. There's thousands of them, hundreds of thousands of them. There's so many of them, they don't even think about checking on Cloud. Bro, how does that make sense? You're supposed to be the fucking things that is pushing Destiny in the right way, and what, the main character that is in this exact thing that you're talking about is about to fall to his death, and you don't even do anything? And then what? Fucking Tifa has to do some bullshit, dumbass fucking thing? Hello, Mina, how you doing? But like Tifa, spoiler alert, by the way, about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and stuff and remake. So if you don't want to hear it, give me a sec, and we'll say in chat when I'm done. Fucking, but then right. So one time they fucking save them, and then another time they just fucking let him sit there like it's doing nothing. Just fucking pisses me off. And then that's not even the worst part. Later on in the game, like the end boss that you're fighting, right? Like you get there, and then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, there's these whispers that are like bigger versions of the whispers. There's these like massive big cunts. They're like big elemental type things, right? They literally look like just elementals. There's nothing different. They're just elementals, and they just happen to be whispers. Okay, yeah, cool. And then all three of them, you're fighting them. Firstly, they're really annoying to fight. It's just a very annoying thing. You have to keep fucking healing yourself over and over again in this fucking stupid bullshit fight. It's not the hardest fight in the world. It's just fucking annoying. And when I get annoyed, I start playing badly, and that was pissing me off. And it was just like, right, why are these even here? And why are they the most important fight at the end of the game when at the end of this game, this section, whatever, you know what I mean? Because obviously a remake is not the end of the game. You know, you get what I'm saying? That game of remake. Why is that the big boss at the end? What the fuck has that got to do with anything? And then I realized in that moment, I was like, Rebirth is not going to go in the direction at all of the original. At all. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute. There's been so many moments that have happened in the actual original game at this point, by this point of the game, that made the game, that made me like attached to the characters and give a fuck about them. And in this game, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. There's so many moments where like you don't get the emotion the same way. Like you don't get the emotion the same way that the emotional moments in the original game you get because you get to think about it with your own fucking head, right? You get to think about it. You get to like actually decide yourself what it means a little bit. Like you get some of the details, and you get a lot of the details. You get all the details if you actually look around and read and blah 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 blah. But you don't get it fed to you like a fucking idiot. And you don't get like every 2 seconds like, hey Cloud, what do you think we should do? Go over there? It's not fucking God of War, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need a fucking head on my belt that tells me exactly where to go at a particular fucking time. Like, it's just the fucking dumbest thing ever. It was pissing me off. And then, not only that, in the middle of the fight with these fucking things, right? like you fight them, and then you get to a certain stage, and there's this big fuck off that like one of them. There's one massive one, and then 3 small ones that for some reason they're connected to that. And then when you hit them enough, suddenly the big one is staggered for some reason, which has happened in several moments of the game. I don't like that. Why? God knows. And then you get to a certain point, and then they fucking combine into Bahamut, into Whisper Bahamut. Why? Couldn't tell you. Couldn't fucking tell you. I don't know. What does that got to do with Sephiroth? What does that got to do with Jenova? What does that got to do with the actual fucking concept of the fucking game? The thing that made the game in the first place good? Nothing. Zero. It has nothing to do with it. And then I said it to Silver, and Silver was like, what, you want a 1-to-1 fucking copy? Motherfucker, I just want the game. Like, the thing that made the game good is the story. So why are we changing the thing that made it good in every case? And then I looked at the fucking Rebirth stuff, because I'm gonna play it probably, but I know the story of the fucking game. And the fact that I didn't know the story of what happens in Rebirth is a joke, because it's a fucking remake. If it's a remake, I should know the fucking story. I've played Final Fantasy 7 25 times. I should know the story. But I looked it up, and no, I don't know the story. The story fucking changed, because Aerith doesn't fucking die. And then fucking Barrett dies, and then they fucking bring him back to life. What? And then, bro, it's so dumb. And then I was looking at the fucking Chocobo races. They upped the Chocobo race like it was actually fun, but then the actual Gold Saucer thing that happened is the most vapid bullshit ever. It doesn't get any of the emotion that you get, because when you're going in the Gold Saucer in the original game, in the original game, when you go to the Gold Saucer, it's not like you're just going there to have fun. You're going there because there's a thing to collect there, and you need to go get it. So you go there, and then you end up having fun while you're there. It makes sense. But in Rebirth, you go there, and then everything's just fucking cringe. Every single fucking city is the same fucking thing, right? Every single fucking city is the same thing. It's just Costa del Sol over and over and over and over again. It's just the same fucking bit. Like, mate, there's an underground fucking prison where you meet Barrett's fucking friend, a long lost friend that he hasn't seen in ages, called Dine, right? It's such an emotional, good moment in the original. And I'm not saying it's like if it was a new game, it wouldn't be as bad as it is because it's not a new game. But the fact that this is already a thing that people are attached to, and then you just change the whole fucking thing. You make the underground, you make the lower ground prison not look remotely fucking scary. You make it look like it's like a tourist fucking site, and then nothing's scary remotely. It's not fucking like the boss guy was dying, and then now the boss is some knobhead, and then the actual way that it even happens is different. And then like you get to meet Dine, and when you meet him in the original, you know what happens with Dine? Dine is, you get to him, he's not tied up or anything, he's immediately a threat. As soon as you meet him, you don't know he's a threat, but he's not like tied up. You know what he is now? He's fucking tied up. You get there, he's on a fucking chair. The dude sat on a chair tied up. And then what? You fucking untie him and then he fucking... Shut the fuck, bro. There's so many moments in this game, like in the original game, that made the game, that made the emotional moments, that made you care about those characters. And if you fucking add all this multiverse bullshit, all you get is some fucking vapid kind of fan fiction like that is kind of like it, but not it at all. And then you remove all of the, like, death is one of the main points of the whole fucking thing. Firstly, you're supposed to be, like, upset by the death. The death is supposed to be something that upsets you, right? It's supposed to be like, oh, holy shit, that's fucking crazy. And then it's the motivation from the point of Aerith's death. It's the motivation for Cloud and for the party to some extent, right? It's their motivation. But then you realize at the end of the game, when everything goes like how it does, and you see like the fucking Midgar with the grass and moss all over it and stuff, it keeps it kind of like loose-ended a little bit. You realize that the whole fucking idea is it'll be okay at the end because nature will take over again, regardless. The live stream will take over and blah, 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 blah. And everything will be okay. It's basically the whole point, right? But if death isn't even a fucking big deal in the first place, you never even get to come to that realization. You never even have the fucking stress in the first place. All it is like this fucking boss guy who's supposed to be super fucking scary. Okay, I've just remembered another thing. This is the last thing I'll rant about, and I'll let people come back. But another thing. There's a moment in the game, in the original game, where fucking Sephiroth, right? Whatever. The voice is fine. But like there's a moment in the game where you go to Nibelheim, right? With your Cloud, obviously, and you're with fucking in this flashback where you think that was you in the flashback, blah 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 blah, and then your Cloud and you're with Sephiroth and you're in Nibelheim, which is Cloud's fucking hometown. You go there and you're like making your way up the mountain thing towards the reactor, right? While you're doing that in the original, you run into a dragon. The dragon is a big fuck off thing, and you're a low level and Sephiroth's a high level. It hits Sephiroth and does 0 damage, and Sephiroth just one-shots it like that. You do 0 damage when you hit it, and if you get hit, you get fucking knocked out. Meanwhile, this dude can't die. The whole point is that it's building this guy up. It's like, fuck me. You never fight him until way later down the line. And then there's the bit with the black materia and whatever. They fucked that up as well completely. Now the black materia is fake. And it's horrendous. And in the new one, now, when that happens, when you get to that point, you don't fight the dragon. That doesn't just happen to show you that thing in a very quick way that it did in the original. Now, what happens instead is that you fight a completely different thing, but now you can control Sephiroth as another one of the characters, and you can die! Sephiroth can fucking die! Which removes everything! And then you fight him prior to the end of the game as well, several times, because there's going to be another game coming out, and people have already fucking fought Sephiroth. That makes him not the fucking big boss. It makes him not that fucking important and not that scary, dude. It annoys the fuck out of me what they've done with this fucking game, because it's like, I love seeing the environments. I love seeing the shit that I care about. The beloved, like I love seeing Midgar. I love seeing the fucking Juno, the fucking big cannon and everything. I like seeing a lot of that shit. It's awesome to see, right? The same way that it was when we watched Advent Children, even though it's fucking cringe in a lot of ways. It's nice to see that stuff in a more fleshed out, graphically way, right? But it's just not better at all, and it removes so much of what made the game good in the first place. It is cringe, and we watched it the other night, Kate. Let's not pretend it's not cringe. It's just good. It's good and cringe at the same time. But the thing is that a movie that adds to it doesn't take away from the original. I don't mind if it's cringe and misses certain things out. The card game is good, yeah, from what I've heard. Like, there's some of the mini games, I'm sure they're great, but it's just, it doesn't. The mini games aren't the thing that makes the game. There's something that adds to the game. If the fucking base game is ruined because a bunch of the fucking story is fucked and it's not remotely interesting, then I don't really care about the fucking mini games anymore because I'm not enthused. I just feel like the whole point of everything is like, everywhere you go, you got to do a bunch of fucking errands. It's just lame. Rebirth is not the best JRPG, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You have horrendous taste. There's not a chance. Not one chance. The best RPG is 7. It's not even